All right, guys, this is your fourth and final question for the final exam. This one is probably the longest one, so I will try to be direct and to the point. Okay, so this question is about your Holland Code, or your self-directed search code. And this is one of the self-assessments that we took in class. If you remember, you took two. One of them had 4 letters, and that was your personality type, and the 3 letters was your Holland Code or your self-directed search. So your 3 letters were either R, it was any combination of R, I, A, S, E, and C. So you might have gotten REC or SEA or SIA or ICR. It could have been any mixture of those. So R was for realistic, I was for investigative, A was for artistic, S was for social, E was for enterprising, and C was for conventional. So the first part of this question, and remember you're writing about your code. So the first part is you're going to write down your 3-letter code, plain and simple. There's going to be 3 little dash lines, and you're just going to put your code. So for example, my code is ASE. And then under that, there's going to be a spot for you to write that A, you're going to write artistic, social, enterprising. Or remember, the C would be conventional, the I would be investigative, the R would be realistic. Next to those lines is a place for you to write that why you are that thing. And this is where you demonstrate to me that you understand the definition of what that part of the Holland Code is for you. And I'm not going to read you that whole lecture here, but for example, artistic might mean that you're someone who's gifted in the arts, or that you're someone who's innovative, or you like unstructured work situations. But instead of giving me that definition, you're going to give me an example. I am artistic because I like to write children's books. I am social because I like to help others to solve their problems. I am enterprising because I like to get people organized in my book club to get everyone on board reading the same thing. So try to think of an example from your real life that shows that you are that particular thing. So if you're investigative, don't tell me that investigative means that you like to observe. I already know that. Tell me what you like to observe and how you like to go through the world kind of looking around. If you're conventional, that usually means that you've got an eye for detail. Math might be easy for you. Tell me about that. What kind of detail things are you good at? Are you good at planning events? Are you good at putting together a schedule for your family? Stuff like that. And then I guess the last one would be realistic. And if you're realistic, then tell me, what is it that you'd like to do either with your hands or outside, or are you an athlete? Realistic usually means that you're more athletic, want to work outdoors. You're not interested in sitting behind a desk, and you might prefer to work with objects rather than people. So maybe you like to work with animals. Tell me how you are each one of the things in your code. So you'll write a little sentence for that. I am realistic because I like to fix my refrigerator myself when it breaks. I don't want to call the repairman, stuff like that. And then the next 2 pieces of this question are for you to tell me a major that you've either chosen or when you're considering. So if you know what your major is, you'll use that major. And if you've got a couple on the table, you just need to pick one to write about it. So there'll be a line, a major I'm considering is, and you'll write it in there. Business administration, education, nursing. Write your answer down. And then the last part is the part where you get to show me that you understand what your code means and how it relates to your major. And this is an area for you to kind of engage in some creative and critical thinking, because this is where you're going to kind of tie it all together. So you're going to tell me in a paragraph why your major relates to your code. So for example, my code is ASE. When I was where you are now, my major was education, specifically early childhood education. So I would write something like this. The major I've chosen is early childhood education. I get to be artistic as a teacher because my schedule requires me to be flexible throughout the day to meet the needs of my students. This appeals to my social side because I get to help children learn the skills they need to be successful in school and in life. And this also appeals to my entrepreneurial sensibilities because I have opportunities at the school to be a leader on committees. I get to lead my students to a place where I want them to learn and be successful. And overall, I get to work with people in 2 different ways at this as a teacher, which appeals to my code. So get it something like that, where you're kind of looking at each piece of your code and you're connecting the dots to why it makes sense for that major. All right, that wraps up our video series. If you have any questions, as usual, please let me know. And I look forward to giving you your exam and seeing what awesome grades you make on them. All right, see you soon. Bye.